Lewis Hamilton's first British Grand Prix as a Ferrari driver was supposed to be a homecoming masterpiece. Silverstone, 150,000 roaring fans. And Hamilton, the master of this circuit, reunited with glory. Instead, as rain swept across the circuit and the surface turned treacherous, Hamilton found himself wrestling a machine that simply wouldn't cooperate. His Ferrari SF-25, a car that had shown flashes of brilliance in practice, transformed into what he later called the most difficult car I've ever driven in these conditions. This wasn't hyperbole. The SF-25 snapped loose mid-corner, skated unpredictably under throttle, and robbed Hamilton of any confidence to attack the slick tarmac with the precision he's known for. If you're enjoying this so far, a quick subscribe would mean a lot. But as much as this result, a fourth-place finish, might sting, the seven-time world champion didn't just walk away frustrated. He walked away determined, armed with a clear vision for what Ferrari's engineers must fix, not just for the remainder of 2025, but for their entire 2026 challenger. So, what exactly does Hamilton want from the SF-25? Why does he believe this machine fights him at the very moment he needs it to obey? And what can Ferrari realistically change mid-season? Or will the full transformation have to wait until next year? This is the story of an all-time great driver identifying a car's deepest flaws in real time, and what his evolving relationship with Ferrari's technical team now means for the future of this partnership. At the core of Hamilton's critique is stability, or rather the lack of it. In the dry, the SF-25 has occasionally looked competitive, but as soon as Silverstone's infamous showers hit, the car's most fundamental weakness was exposed: inconsistent mechanical balance, especially at low speeds. Ferrari's engineers have chased grip all season, but Hamilton's feedback cuts deeper. He's demanding a car that responds predictably across changing conditions, a machine that won't surprise him mid-corner. The telemetry from Silverstone revealed what Hamilton felt instinctively: sudden shifts in front-to-rear balance through low-speed corners, where the car's aerodynamic platform becomes unstable as downforce levels drop dramatically. This instability forces Hamilton to hold back, unable to attack apexes aggressively or get on throttle early, essential in wet conditions when the grip window is already razor-thin. The SF-25's rear-end unpredictability under load transfer was particularly pronounced exiting slower turns like Village and Vale, where Hamilton repeatedly struggled to lay down power without risking snap oversteer. Ferrari's engineers will need to analyze the interaction between their rear suspension geometry and aero platform compliance, potentially revisiting anti-squat characteristics and the behavior of the rear axle under varying load scenarios. But beyond mechanical grip, Hamilton's feedback points to an aerodynamic inconsistency as well. The SF-25's floor and diffuser performance seems sensitive to ride height variations, compounding the difficulty in wet conditions where surface undulations matter even more. Hamilton's call for a car that turns at low speed isn't a vague complaint. It's a precise technical roadmap that implicates both mechanical setup and aerodynamic consistency. And while some changes can happen mid-season via suspension tweaks and aero refinements, Hamilton's input is clearly being funneled into Ferrari's 2026 project, where fundamental design shifts can address these core weaknesses from the ground up. What makes this chapter in Hamilton's Ferrari story so fascinating is the tension between expectation and reality. When he left Mercedes for Maranello, many assumed his decision was driven by emotion, history, legacy, a romantic dream of emulating Schumacher in red. But Hamilton is also a pragmatist, and his comments after Silverstone reveal a man fully aware that emotion alone won't deliver results. His reference to sitting down with the people designing next year's car is revealing. Hamilton isn't just a driver delivering feedback at debriefs. He's positioning himself as an integral part of Ferrari's technical DNA going forward. This is a delicate moment in his relationship with Ferrari. He's still the new recruit, but with more world championships than anyone on the grid and an intimate understanding of what a front-running car requires, Hamilton's authority within the team is rapidly solidifying. At the same time, there's the pressure of perception. Ferrari fans, known for their passionate loyalty, are already measuring Hamilton not just against rivals, but against history itself, against the legends who wore scarlet before him. That pressure intensified after Silverstone. Some Italian media framed his comments as excuses, while others noted his remarkable honesty and willingness to highlight weaknesses publicly. Internally, though, this is where Hamilton thrives. He's been here before, walking into a team that knows it needs to improve, but hasn't yet figured out how. His challenge is not just mastering a difficult car, but reshaping the culture around him to make sure the next Ferrari isn't merely fast, but drivable in every condition. In that human element, Hamilton's ability to elevate an entire team through relentless, precise feedback might prove even more important than any lap he turns in anger this season. From a championship perspective, Silverstone was a sobering weekend for Hamilton and Ferrari. Fourth place earned valuable points, but did little to close the gap to the dominant Red Bull of Verstappen and the increasingly consistent McLaren of Norris.